future network corporation, this is an assumption which obviously you can quarrel with, the future network corporation will be inherently smaller. Bureaucracy was an employment pool for the vast middle class. Nonetheless, the question, whether or not you buy the premise, the question is, how will society be different when so very few people can really aspire to work in a knowledge setting for GM, GE, Boeing, etc.? Where do you buy that from?
No, I think the reality, and by the way, I think the data says this, is that we will create jobs at a pretty amazing rate. The challenge is they will be very different jobs than were there 10 years earlier. So that's the disruptive part. We will do less bending of sheet metal and building of airplanes, but we will do a lot of network development, tying systems together. We will certainly do that in the military. Or what we had to do for ourselves was change our mindset. We are not the builder of the platforms. We are the integrator of the system. So I think there will be lots of jobs. I think they will be jobs that change at a rate that is way higher than has happened in the past. When my father went to school, you could go to school and say, I'm going to do this job the rest of my career. I don't think that's the way the future will be. And I think that's why continuing education, continuing learning is going to be so critical.
Thank you. These are two related questions, and let me just put them to you together. One is Boeing a member of the UN Global Compact? That doesn't really want a yes or no. It wants an if so, why, and if not, why not? And the related question is, what's the role of Boeing, or what's the Boeing position as regards sustainable development?
I think one of the fascinating parts of a global corporation today is an understanding of the social responsibility that goes with it. Toffler pointed out that frequently corporations were going to be able to move faster than government institutions. And then that puts back to the corporation a responsibility. How are you going to operate in that global environment? What role do you have in terms of things like sustainable development? And I believe that every major corporation that I talk to thinks deeply about that subject, no matter what they do, how they do it, what is our role going to be? And you can take it from a lot of different perspectives. I'm going to go back to the previous question for a second and relate it there. I believe that continuing education is going to be absolutely vital. So we have a tuition reimbursement program that allows anybody in Boeing to go to any accredited school, and we will pay the tuition. Now, when we first put that in, there was a lot of worry because people might very well go take subjects that were not directly relatable to the company, and therefore it would be wasted money. And sure enough, if you look at the data, it's true. We had one person get a degree in mortuary science. It is offset by the fact that we have two people that got degrees in divinity. But the answer is every one of those people is learning. And they are developing, and we are playing that role. So sustainable development, I think, absolutely. Our role in that, we've got to look at what we're doing and how we're doing it, because that will be key to our corporation and others being here 20, 30 years from now.
This is a question about how you think about the long term. It's to what extent you use scenario planning in strategic analysis, i.e., when you look out 10 to 20 years, how many different realities, different possibilities do you deal with?
We have done a lot of scenario planning. What I have found is that the hard part is not the scenarios. The hard part is you have to make concrete decisions.